Coffee chats with Chrissy. So, one of the biggest things I want you to know is that you can literally reach anyone on this planet, mostly, unless they're like off the grid. You can literally reach anyone on this planet, and you can, you can reach them. You can actually reach them. So, what do I mean by this? This is a conversation going into cold outreach and why cold outreach is so powerful. Okay, there's a variety of ways that you can do this, but when you there was a shift when I started doing cold calling. There was a shift where it was like, okay, I can literally using a database find anybody's number, typically preferably their work numbers. I've called personal numbers before. It's not a fun time. Sometimes it's not a fun time. But you can literally find anybody's work number and call them and get them on the phone. Even at least for a few seconds. If you do well, you can get them on for minutes and longer. You can literally interrupt somebody's day. Interrupt somebody's day and get what you need and help them out. And it's a thing that works. People do this. Okay, whether it's a cold call, or you could do a cold DM or cold email. I feel like that feels better. A cold connection, DM, email feels better to me. I've never personally cold called in my life for my personal stuff. For as a job, I've cold called, and I've done thousands of cold calls. And I've done one call closes of get somebody on the phone, close them for a deal, get paid. I've done that. And I learned that in my old job. And I had previously booked appointments that got closed, and who's calling me? Why is this happening? Can we not do this? I don't need these calls right now, even though the calls are a good thing because I'm expecting some calls for my business. But I'm trying to do something right now. So anyway, I forget what I was talking about. I forget. Just cold outreach. Again, I've done thousands of cold calls. I've helped bring in $60,000 or more in revenue for a startup. This is very different. Oh my gosh. I worked for a big corporation doing sales for advertising, and I've worked for a startup. Can we I don't know how else to say this, but when you work for a startup, nobody knows who you are. You don't have trust, and they didn't even have the best website or anything. Their website was fine. I'm not it's just okay. I'm just trying to say that you can literally call people. They don't know who you are, and they will do business with you. The biggest thing for me was I called so many. I've spoken to so many people that have these careers where it's they're making a ton of money, and or at least that's what they told me, or and they it is true that some of them do make a ton of money. We're talking about multi-six-figure jobs, right? And literally, I'm calling people that are in C-suite. I'm calling people that are senior execs. I'm calling people that are partners. I'm calling people, typically law firm people, and these are busy attorneys. These are busy people, and I'm calling them, and they're answering, and they're talking to me, and I'm I never in my life would I've imagined that I would have met these kinds of people and talked to them and all this kind of stuff, and had deals and everything like that. But it happened. So that's one of my crazy manifestations for me, I feel. And it's funny because some people feel a certain type of way of oh, it didn't in my brain, it didn't register that I'm like talking to these people. Like I'm talking to these people that like are in a certain position. And what I'm trying to say is that you can get access to anybody. You can get access to anybody. Because everybody's just a regular person. No matter what you think, no matter how you view them in, oh, this person is like C-suite, senior exec, whatever. Like, I'm just saying that you can get access to anybody. And that's like a big shift that happened for me because but when I was making those calls, I wasn't really nervous. I wasn't really like, I wasn't thinking about it. I'm not thinking about like, I'm just like, I'm trying to do my job. I wasn't thinking about like, I'm sitting here calling like the CEO of this large law firm and just like, I'm here to do my job. Like, hey, like, are you hiring? You know what I mean? Obviously I didn't sound like that, but I'm just like, I'm doing my job, and that's kind of like the space that I was in. But all that to say is that like you can literally get anybody's number, mostly. You can get anybody's contact information. You can send them a DM on Instagram. You can do all this stuff that you might not have thought to do. You can reach anyone, and people aren't talking about it enough. In my opinion, I'm like, that's a huge shift. That's a huge shift because then you start to see like opportunities. You start to think like, okay, like one of the things that I have thought about is, I mean, I've done like influencer marketing stuff, and that was a whole thing. But I had also thought about like celebrities and like how you can just like reach out to a celebrity and gift them your product or service or whatever, right? So, and they might decide to share it with their people if they really like it. So the biggest thing that I wanted to share in this video was that you can get access to anybody, and it's time to think about cold outreach differently because you can literally get access to anybody. And so there's that. But another thing that I wanted to talk about is B2B. A lot of people don't talk about this. Some people hit the ground running. They have this experience. Like I remember when I didn't even think about influencer marketing and how that could be a thing. It never even crossed my mind. Like in my whole time of marketing, studying marketing, all that type of stuff, like I had just stayed away from products. I had stayed away from all of that world. And then I recently got into the beauty world and I started to see everything differently. And then I started to see the whole influencer game differently and UGC and all this stuff. But again, I want to keep this focused on, while we have a few minutes here, B2B. People don't know that they can do certain partnerships, that they can do certain deals. Like, for example, with Findel.ai, I keep on forgetting to talk about it. So with Findel.ai, it can help you with sponsorships, like corporate sponsorships. And there's different types of sponsorships, like audience-based, event-based, or program-based, right? So, in Findel.ai, it helps with the positioning and all that type of stuff, outreach, all of it. But I don't know, like people don't think about B2B. For example, I'll give you an example, a concrete example that you might understand. There's this girl passing out flyers for her cleaning services. She's not allowed to do that. There's no soliciting. Apparently she's a resident here. And she's like, she comes up to me and we talk and everything. And one thing that I was thinking about was like, if she just went to our office and like formed a partnership with the management, she could be having like leads come to her and like they could feature her on the website or email or whatever. Like that could be more lucrative and like a good partnership, but people don't think like that. She's thinking like, let me go door to door, when instead she could think, let me partner with the apartment complex and that's how I get my leads. It's a whole different conversation. That's what I'll leave you with. B2B or just different partnerships and deals.